It's okay to be afraid. It is not a sin to be afraid. But what are you afraid of? Psalm 19:9 says, "The fear of the Lord is pure, enduring forever." When I read this today, my brain immediately cross-referenced so many other passages that you hear about fear. My favorite one probably being the beginning of wisdom. Fear is the beginning of wisdom. Fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And then there are a ton of passages that are straight up, don't be afraid. Or a ton of passages that include that verse, don't be afraid. And then there is perfect love drives out fear. There is Paul talking about being afraid of even his own life because he was facing various shipwrecks and other trials. Jesus, it doesn't say the word fear. It says agony or great distress when he was in the garden. He had some serious nervous system issues, as you would if you were nearing the point of death and you knew it for certain. So a lot of times Christians of my ilk, if you say the word afraid, they will immediately pounce upon you and say that you are sinning because you're afraid. Don't be afraid. That's a sin. And it's really a fine line. There is cowardly fear and there is a godly fear. If you literally are being chased by a bear, that fear is just a response that was masterfully designed to warn you to get out of a certain situation. And so if your nervous system is in overdrive, that's not really a sin. That's just the way that God designed us in order to warn us to get out of things. I have a fear of little kids running around right by the street. That is just common sense because I need to look out for their well-being and they cannot be trusted. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, and it is my job to protect them until they are ready to have stewardship over their own lives. And I can think of just a lot of other situations. If you are going through something really, really dire, maybe you're by literally the deathbed of a loved one, your own child, and your nervous system is in overdrive as you're facing imminent death or just a tragedy or trial in your family, those responses in your physical body are not sinful. Now, there are tools we can use to help us have peace and regulate our nervous system: prayer, Bible reading, talking to a trusted friend. But the response, the nervous system response, is not sinful itself. So we have to search within ourselves and ask, hey, am I having a godly fear? Is this fear of the Lord? Or is this a cowardly fear? Like I'm just living in fear and I don't trust the Lord to get me through it and to bring me the peace that comes through the gospel, and knowing that he has a plan for our lives. Romans 8:28, all things work for the good of those who love him, who've been called according to his purpose. So we need to be careful not accusing others of having the ungodly fear, because it's really hard to differentiate from the outsider perspective. A person can feel fearful in a situation because maybe they're witnessing a loved one passing away, but they can act according to God's righteousness and have grace for everyone in the room, maybe even share the gospel with the nurses, like I saw my husband do after our daughter passed away. And they can be acting within that perfect peace and the knowledge that God has us right where he needs us, and still feel that fearful, yucky, tight-chested feeling. Those are just feelings, and it's not necessarily a sin to have those physical, hormonal, neurological responses going between your brain and your body. That's just how we are designed. I hope that helps. Grace and peace. Love ya.